10 skills a real man should have. In today's world, the concept of what it means to be a real man has evolved significantly. But beyond the superficial expectations, a true man is defined by his character, his principles, and most importantly, the skills he brings to the table. It's not just about biological traits or societal stereotypes. It's about mastery over oneself and the ability to lead, provide, and protect. A man of value doesn't seek validation in things that fade, fame, wealth, or physical appearance. Instead, he builds his foundation on things that last, such as discipline, honor, and responsibility. Why are these skills important? Because the challenges we face in life demand strength, not just physical, but mental, emotional, and spiritual strength. Without the right tools, a man can find himself adrift in a sea of uncertainty, unable to steer the course of his own destiny. That's why it's essential to cultivate key abilities that help navigate life's trials, allowing a man to stand firm, even in the face of adversity. These skills aren't just optional, they're fundamental to thriving in an ever-changing world. In this video, we'll explore 10 essential skills that every man should master. These skills aren't just about survival, but about thriving, leading, and living with purpose. A man without these abilities is like a ship without a compass, drifting aimlessly, never reaching his true potential. So, let's dive in and look at what truly makes a man, starting with two of the most crucial skills: decision-making and self-discipline. The ability to make decisions swiftly and effectively is one of the most defining traits of a real man. Life presents a never-ending stream of choices, and each decision, no matter how small, creates a ripple that shapes our future. When faced with a fork in the road, the worst thing a man can do is stand still, paralyzed by fear or indecision. Indecision is itself a choice to give up control, to allow circumstances or others to dictate the outcome. A man who cannot make decisions with confidence finds himself drifting, at the mercy of external forces, unable to carve his own path. Decisiveness is not just about picking the right answer every time. It's about making a choice with conviction, even when uncertainty looms, and having the courage to deal with the consequences, whether they bring success or failure. Many men fear the weight of responsibility that comes with decision-making, but this fear is exactly what separates the weak from the strong. A true man understands that failure is not the enemy. It is stagnation, the inability to act, that leads to regret. A decisive man is not reckless, he is measured. He gathers the necessary information, evaluates the risks, and then moves forward. Hesitation, procrastination, and overanalysis breed inaction, and inaction leads to missed opportunities. But decisiveness alone is not enough. The second foundational skill every man must master is self-discipline. While decisiveness sets the direction, self-discipline is what ensures you stay on course. It is one thing to decide on a path, but another entirely to walk it, day after day through the highs and lows, the easy moments and the challenges. Discipline is what enables a man to keep going when motivation fades, when distractions arise, or when the initial excitement of a new endeavor wears off. A man without discipline is like a ship without an anchor, constantly tossed by the whims of the world around him. He may have dreams and aspirations, but without the self-control to stick to his goals, those dreams will never be realized. Success in any area of life, whether it's career, relationships, or personal development, is not built on grand moments of inspiration, but on the steady daily grind of consistent effort. The man who masters self-discipline doesn't just rely on fleeting bursts of motivation. He operates on principles. He creates habits that carry him through even when his energy is low or temptations are high. Discipline is the armor that protects a man from his worst impulses. It's the force that keeps him focused when others would give up. In a world full of distractions, where instant gratification is always just a click away, a disciplined man stands firm, knowing that real success is built over time. He understands that sacrifices made today will lead to greater rewards tomorrow. A man who controls his own desires, his time, and his actions will always have the upper hand. Together, decisiveness and self-discipline are what allow a man to take control of his life. Decisiveness pushes him to act, to take the necessary risks, and to move forward with purpose. Self-discipline keeps him on track, ensuring that his efforts are sustained over the long haul. Without these two core skills, a man will drift, constantly reacting to the world around him instead of shaping his own destiny. A man who cannot decide or lacks the discipline to follow through will always find himself at the mercy of others, unable to lead, unable to grow, and ultimately unable to live a life of true fulfillment. The ability to communicate effectively is one of the most underrated yet essential skills a man can possess. No matter how capable or talented you are, if you cannot clearly express your ideas, intentions, and desires, you will be constantly misunderstood and your influence diminished. Communication is the bridge between thought and action, and it's through communication that we build relationships, resolve conflicts, and inspire others. Effective communication isn't just about speaking well, it's about understanding your audience, knowing when to listen and responding in a way that adds value to the conversation. It's about reading the room, sensing emotions, and adapting your tone and message accordingly. A man who masters communication can navigate any social situation, whether it's a boardroom meeting, a heated argument, or an intimate conversation with a loved one. He understands that words carry weight, and with that weight comes responsibility. He chooses his words carefully, aiming not to dominate but to connect, to persuade, and to lead. Moreover, true communication isn't just about what is said, but also about what is heard. Listening is a powerful skill in its own right. A man who listens deeply shows respect, earns trust, and gains insight that others miss. He doesn't interrupt or impose his views prematurely. Instead, he absorbs what is being said, understanding both the spoken and unspoken messages. In a world full of noise, a man who listens carefully will stand out, earning respect from those around him. But effective communication is nothing without resilience, the fourth crucial skill. Life is full of setbacks, challenges, and disappointments. No matter how well you plan or how hard you work, things will go wrong. The question is not whether you'll face adversity, but how you'll respond when you do. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from these setbacks stronger and more determined than before. It's about maintaining composure and perspective when things don't go your way. A resilient man doesn't crumble in the face of failure. Instead, he views failure as a stepping stone to success. He understands that setbacks are part of the process, not the end of the road. Where others see defeat, he sees opportunity, an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to improve. Resilience isn't about avoiding hardship, but about embracing it, using every challenge as a chance to refine yourself and grow. A man who cannot recover from setbacks will forever be at the mercy of circumstances, but a resilient man takes control, refusing to let obstacles define him. One of the most important aspects of resilience is emotional control. When faced with adversity, many people react emotionally, often letting anger, frustration, or sadness cloud their judgment. A resilient man, however, knows how to manage his emotions. He doesn't allow temporary feelings to dictate his long-term decisions. Instead, he takes a step back, assesses the situation with a calm mind, and moves forward with clarity and purpose. Emotional resilience is the cornerstone of long-term success. It keeps you steady in the storm and focused when others would be overwhelmed. The combination of effective communication and resilience makes for an unstoppable force. A man who can express himself clearly and withstand the trials of life with grace and strength will find himself ahead in both personal and professional arenas. Communication helps build relationships and influence, while resilience ensures that those relationships and efforts don't crumble at the first sign of difficulty. Together, these skills allow a man to navigate the complexities of life with both tact and tenacity, building a future that is both meaningful and enduring. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is arguably one of the most critical skills for a man who seeks to truly master himself and the relationships around him. While traditional intelligence, IQ, is often celebrated, it's emotional intelligence that determines how well a man can navigate the complexities of human interactions. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, control, and express your emotions in a balanced way, while also being able to handle the emotions of others. In essence, it's about being in tune with your own feelings and using that awareness to guide your behavior and decision-making. Why is this important? because emotions are powerful drivers of behavior. Men who lack emotional intelligence are often reactive, impulsive, or detached, leading to broken relationships, missed opportunities, and a life filled with unnecessary conflict. A man with high emotional intelligence, however, knows how to keep his emotions in check. He doesn't let anger or frustration dictate his actions, nor does he suppress his emotions to the point of detachment. Instead, he learns to channel his feelings in productive ways. For instance, he turns anger into motivation, disappointment into resilience, and stress into focus. Emotional intelligence also involves empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. A man who is emotionally intelligent knows that while strength is important, so is compassion. He can read between the lines of what someone is saying, picking up on subtle cues like body language and tone of voice, to truly understand their needs and concerns. This makes him a better communicator, a more supportive friend or partner, and a more effective leader. He doesn't just think about his own needs but considers how his actions impact those around him, and he uses that awareness to build stronger, more trusting relationships. That brings us to the sixth essential skill: leadership. A man of value leads by example, not by force. Leadership isn't about exerting control over others, but about inspiring them to follow a shared vision. It's about guiding others not by pushing them down, but by lifting them up. Whether it's in a formal leadership role, like a manager or team leader, or in everyday life, leading your family, your friends, or even just yourself, the principles of strong leadership remain the same. Leadership begins with accountability. A true leader takes full responsibility for his actions and the results that follow, whether they're good or bad. He doesn't blame others for his mistakes, nor does he take credit for others' successes. Instead, he leads with integrity, ensuring that his actions align with his words. People trust leaders who are consistent, honest, and fair, traits that are built over time through the repeated demonstration of character. Moreover, leadership requires vision and decisiveness. A leader doesn't just follow the crowd. He sets the direction, inspiring others to reach for a goal that might seem out of reach. He is the one who stands firm when others waver, guiding the way through uncertainty and doubt. But beyond just vision, leadership also requires the ability to empower others. A true leader understands that his strength lies not only in his own abilities, but in his capacity to build up those around him. He sees potential in others and brings it to the surface, offering guidance, encouragement, and support when needed. Ultimately, leadership is less about commanding others and more about service, serving a cause, a team, or a mission greater than yourself. This doesn't mean a man should let others take advantage of him or be self-sacrificial to a fault. Instead, he should lead with a mindset of mutual respect, where everyone benefits from his influence and direction. A man who can lead with both strength and compassion will find that people naturally gravitate toward him, respecting his authority not because it's demanded, but because it's earned. Together, emotional intelligence and leadership form a powerful combination. The ability to manage your own emotions and understand the emotions of others makes you a better leader, and the ability to lead with empathy and vision makes you a man people can respect and follow. Without emotional intelligence, leadership becomes cold and ineffective. Without leadership, emotional intelligence lacks direction and purpose. A true man of value needs both to navigate the challenges of life with grace and authority, becoming someone who not only thrives on his own, but also brings out the best in those around him. Self-sufficiency is one of the core pillars that separates a man who survives from a man who thrives. Being self-sufficient doesn't just mean having the ability to take care of your own needs, although that is certainly part of it. It means having the mindset that no matter what life throws your way, you are capable of handling it. A self-sufficient man doesn't rely on others for his sense of security, direction, or validation. He is fully capable of standing on his own, whether that's financially, emotionally, or mentally. One of the most powerful aspects of self-sufficiency is the freedom it brings. A man who is self-sufficient doesn't have to depend on the approval or support of others to make decisions or pursue his goals. He is in control of his own life, and that gives him a sense of independence that is invaluable. When a man knows how to take care of himself, he's not bound by the limitations others may try to place on him. He can go after what he wants because he knows that no matter the outcome, he has the resilience and capability to bounce back and keep moving forward. Self-sufficiency, however, isn't about isolation or doing everything alone. It's about being capable of managing your own life while still being able to connect with others. A self-sufficient man is resourceful, but he also understands the value of community. He can handle his own problems, but he also knows when to ask for help or rely on others without becoming dependent. The key is balance. Too much self-reliance can lead to arrogance or isolation, while too much dependence on others can lead to weakness or complacency. A true man masters this balance, knowing when to stand on his own and when to lean on others. But self-sufficiency, as critical as it is, must be balanced with empathy, the ability to understand and feel what others are going through. This might sound like a contradiction. How can you be independent yet empathetic at the same time? In reality, these two qualities are deeply interconnected. A man who is truly self-sufficient has the emotional capacity to extend empathy to others without feeling threatened or compromised. He is secure enough in himself to offer understanding and compassion to those who need it, without feeling like their struggles will diminish his own strength. Empathy is not weakness, it's strength. It's the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, to feel their pain or joy, and to respond with kindness, support, or simply acknowledgement. A man who lacks empathy is often cold, distant, and disconnected. He might achieve material success, but without empathy, he will struggle to build meaningful relationships. On the other hand, a man who masters empathy is able to form deeper connections with others. He understands that life is not just about his own success, but about lifting others up along the way. Empathy allows you to be a better leader, a better friend, a better partner, and a better human being. It doesn't mean that you take on everyone's problems or sacrifice your own well-being to please others. Instead, it means that you can listen, understand, and offer support when it's needed, knowing that empathy is a critical part of any successful relationship. In a world where everyone is often focused on their own needs and ambitions, a man who can step back and truly see and feel what others are experiencing will stand out as a leader and as someone to be trusted. One of the greatest misconceptions about strength is that it comes from being hard, unyielding, or emotionally distant. But true strength comes from the ability to balance both self-sufficiency and empathy. You can be independent and still care deeply for others. You can take care of your own needs while also extending a helping hand to those around you. Empathy doesn't take away from your strength, it enhances it. It shows that you're not just focused on yourself, but that you have the capacity to care for and uplift those around you. In the end, a man who is both self-sufficient and empathetic is truly formidable. He can stand on his own, make his own decisions, and build his own future. But he also recognizes the value of human connection and the importance of supporting others along their own journeys. This balance is what makes a man not just respected, but admired. It's what transforms him from someone who merely survives into someone who thrives, both in his personal success and in the relationships he builds along the way. Adaptability is an essential trait in today's fast-paced, ever-changing world. A man who is rigid in his ways, unwilling or unable to change course when necessary, will inevitably find himself left behind, struggling to keep up with the shifts around him. Whether in your personal life, career, or relationships, the ability to adapt, to pivot, learn, and grow in the face of new circumstances is what allows you to not only survive but thrive. The truth is, life is unpredictable. No matter how carefully you plan, there will always be unexpected challenges. Adaptable men don't fear these changes. They embrace them. They understand that flexibility is a strength, not a weakness. Instead of being derailed by obstacles, they use them as opportunities to learn and evolve. Adaptability isn't about abandoning your core principles. Rather, it's about being open to new methods, ideas, and solutions while staying grounded in your values. Adaptability also means being proactive about change, not just reactive. It's the ability to foresee shifts and position yourself ahead of the curve. A man who is adaptable doesn't cling to the past or resist the future. He moves forward with confidence, knowing that the key to long-term success is the ability to keep learning, keep adjusting, and keep moving forward. Whether it's a shift in career, the end of a relationship, or an unforeseen crisis, the man who has mastered adaptability will always find his footing, no matter how rough the terrain. Yet, while adaptability allows a man to navigate life's uncertainties, there is one role that remains constant and unchanging: the ability to protect and defend. A man of value is not only responsible for himself, but for those who rely on him. He understands that part of his purpose is to serve as a protector, to safeguard his family, his community, and his principles. Protection isn't just about physical strength. It's about being the pillar others can lean on in times of need. It's about standing up for what's right, even when it's difficult or unpopular. The ability to protect and defend begins with self-defense, both physically and mentally. Every man should be capable of defending himself and his loved ones, whether from physical threats or psychological pressures. Physical strength, while not the only measure of a man, plays an important role in this. A man who is physically capable can defend himself in dangerous situations, and that capability brings with it a sense of confidence and security. But protection goes beyond physicality. A true protector defends not just bodies but also minds, hearts, and values. In today's world, protecting those you love often means more than just physical defense. It means shielding them from negative influences, emotional harm, and sometimes even from themselves. It's about being vigilant, recognizing potential threats, whether they come in the form of harmful relationships, toxic environments, or societal pressures, and stepping in when necessary. A man who takes on the responsibility to protect must also possess the wisdom to discern when to act, when to guide, and when to simply provide unwavering support. However, a man cannot protect others effectively if he hasn't first mastered self-protection. This means setting boundaries, maintaining your mental and emotional health, and cultivating resilience in the face of adversity. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and a man who is emotionally drained or mentally exhausted will struggle to be a strong protector. Protecting others begins with protecting yourself, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Only then can you serve as a true pillar of strength for those around you. Finally, the ultimate form of protection is defending your principles. A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. It is not enough to be strong and adaptable if you lack conviction. Protecting your values and your integrity is non-negotiable. In a world where compromise is often seen as a virtue, a man must know which lines he cannot cross. This doesn't mean being inflexible or unwilling to change. It means knowing where your boundaries lie and defending them with unwavering resolve. A man who cannot defend his own principles cannot be trusted to defend anyone else's. In conclusion, adaptability and the ability to protect and defend are the final two pillars that complete the foundation of a man of value. Adaptability ensures that you can thrive in an ever-changing world, always learning, growing, and evolving. The ability to protect and defend ensures that, no matter how much the world shifts around you, there are certain unchangeable truths, your principles, your loved ones, and your integrity, that you will always safeguard. Together, these two skills form a powerful combination: the capacity to grow and evolve with the world, while standing firm in your role as a protector of what matters most.